Right now it's 6. Drivers still stuck. As the Sierra slowly starts to reopen, big rigs are still stopped. The push to fully open the major interstate after days of closures. After years of pressure, a major drug maker lowering the price of its insulin, the critical relief for people with diabetes. And the second time's a charm, the successful SpaceX launch overnight and how the trip is making history around the world. CBS 13 Mornings at 6 starts right now.
Getting answers. This is CBS 13 Mornings.
Indeed it is, and good morning. It is Thursday, March 2nd. I'm John Dabkin.
And I'm Dina Kupfer. Thanks so much for choosing us to start your morning. We'll get to your forecast in just a moment. First, though, we know a lot of snow has fallen, and now we're getting a really cool view of it from NASA. So let's go ahead and give you this quick picture here to get your morning started. So this is from NASA's Earth Observatory.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it shows how much snow has fallen in our recent storm. Specifically, this is over LA County. But look at the before and after, that split screen from left to right. So the first picture on the left was taken February 10th. And then the one on the right was the 26th. So only about 2 weeks later, and you can see how much more snow fell, and that was down in LA. But we know the similar story plays out in the Sierra.
Yeah, and you know, my in-laws live in Las Vegas. They got snow again. Yeah, it's like the 5th time this year they've had snow in Las Vegas. It's unbelievable. The pools there are scheduled to open this weekend.
Oh, well.
Don't know about that.
All right, well, let's get a quick check of what we can expect here closer to home. A little break in our system. Good morning to you, Tracy.
Yeah, just a little break. I was just looking at the Central Sierra Snow Lab. They are reporting 531 inches of snowfall so far this season.
Oh, my gosh.
And we are predicting like another 40 inches for areas above 7,000 feet Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So, yeah, we've gotten a lot of snow, and that is wonderful, right? We just needed to stick around through April 1st and kind of hold there so that way we get that slow trickle down all the way during the summer months, and it is so beneficial to so much of California. So freeze warning in effect this morning. It is cold out there again. Overnight temperatures from the 20s to the low 30s. Here's a look at your temperatures. 36 in Sacramento, 36 in Vacaville, lower to the mid 30s coming in for Jackson as well as into Auburn, and I got 2 below in South Lake Tahoe. Here's a look at your slice of California today. Plenty of sunshine. Now bear in mind this is a break in the action. Afternoon highs near 60 today for the valley, near 50 for the foothills, and the lower 40s for the Sierra. And for the Sierra today, you're going to have plenty of sunshine. Afternoon highs again from the mid 40s in Chester to the lower 40s in South Lake Tahoe. Speaking of the Sierra, you got a lot more snow on the way. We're going to time it out for you. Looks like it gets here Saturday, sticking around possibly into Tuesday. That's a look at your weather. For your first alert traffic, here's Courtney.
Hey, good morning. Couple of issues if you were headed out toward the San Joaquin County area, making your way around the Lodi Drive. 3 cars involved in this crash, northbound 5 at Highway 12. Not making any major slowdowns through there and in the final pickup stages. This one, though, adding to the crowds, westbound 205. As you're approaching Mountain House Parkway, big rig involved in a crash there. And then you've got the normal traffic patterns that are developing as you make your way into that stretch. So we'll show you what your drive times look like coming up in just a bit. Guys, back to you.
All right, Court, thank you very much. New this morning, one person's in custody after leading deputies on a chase in Sacramento overnight.
Yeah, it ended a few minutes later when the driver crashed into this gas station here. The vehicle has since been removed. Dave Grashoff is live on Stockton Boulevard and Fruit Ridge Road with the latest at this hour. Hi, Dave.
Yeah, now all that remains is some dirt in the parking lot. You had some employees came out. They cleaned up all the rocks after the earlier chase and crash. It started around 2 a.m. this morning when Sacramento County Sheriffs pulled a vehicle over for expired plates, and they let the driver go with a warning. The driver said, okay, I'll just leave the car there, but then an hour later they saw the individual again, so they went to pull the individual over, and that person took off, and a pursuit ensued and then ended when the crash happened right here, Stockton Boulevard at Fruit Ridge at the Chevron gas station. We talked to the Sacramento County PIO, who shared a little bit more information about it.
We're not in the business of trying to ticket everybody for everything. So originally, like I said, just let off with the warning. But the second time after he told deputies that, hey, I'm just going to leave this park for the night and take care of the registration when I can, went out about an hour later.
Yeah, they have no idea why the second time the driver fled, but ended up crashing right here. The driver got out and then ran, but they were able to detain that individual and that person is now on their way to jail. No injuries in the crash. Law enforcement officers were okay, and the driver taken into custody was okay, but on the way to jail. John, Dina.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much. Well, big rigs are still lined up right now trying to wait out a 75-mile closure, I should say, on I-80 this morning. This is the situation there at Applegate. All those trucks lined up. Now, I-80 is open to passenger cars after days of closures because of that heavy snow and visibility issues. But Caltrans says the road is just too slick for those big trucks to go through safely.
We've got to get a little bit better traction in order to release the trucks because they have a tough time getting over Donner Summit.
Caltrans says they're also operating with less equipment right now. They started the season with 24 snow blowers, but because it has been so busy and they've been so heavily used, they're now down to just 9 working snow blowers.
Well, several schools in our area are going to be closed again today because of all this weather. Many are still digging out from the snow. These pictures show the piles of snow at schools in Camino. So Camino Union Elementary School District is among several other districts that have announced they will be closed today. We have a full list for you that's now been posted at our website, cbs13.com.
About 30,000 PG&E customers still don't have power this morning in the Sierra and foothills.
Yeah, we have Rachel Wolf live in Placerville for us right now, and I know a lot of people are hoping the power will be restored at least before the next round moves in, which is not far away. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning. According to PG&E's website, Schnell Elementary, where we are, power went out here yesterday, and crews are working to restore power all across this area. No word yet as to whether or not school will be closed. I would imagine so, though, because, you know, look at no power, and then look at the black ice in the parking lot. That's an issue on area roadways, especially when it comes to getting kids to school.
Thousands of people are also without power in Nevada County after trees knocked out hundreds of power poles. A spokesperson for PG&E says trees are weak because of the drought, causing them to break more easily. Crews took advantage of clear skies yesterday to access some of the highly damaged poles. It also allowed people to stock up on essentials ahead of another storm this weekend.
I ran out of food the other day. I have food to eat, but I need food to eat. You know what I mean?
PG&E is bringing in crews from other regions that were not impacted as badly by the storm. Nevada County alone has had about 15,000 PG&E customers lose power.
And so 30,000 in the Sierra Division without power. If you factor in Madera, that number doubles. That's a lot of folks to be without power, especially with temperatures dipping right around the freezing level. A little bit warmer than where we were yesterday. It's about 35, 36 degrees, but still chilly as folks are waking up. A couple utility crews and maybe some staff or maintenance showing up here. So we'll keep you updated throughout the morning as to whether it'll be open here and also those power outages updates across the area.
Yeah, we'll, of course, be updating our viewers when we get new info, too. All right, Rachel, thank you so much. Well, this morning, officials are urging people to be on alert as water is seeping under a levee. This is happening in Walnut Grove, and the Sacramento County of Emergency Services, the county office, says that crews are monitoring the so-called boil at Snodgrass Slough. They say there is no immediate threat right now, but they are asking people who live in that area to keep an eye out for any alerts if the situation worsens.
New video from the NTSB shows the wreckage from that deadly air ambulance crash near Reno. The plane went down Friday in Dayton, Nevada. Investigators say it broke apart in midair before hitting the ground. All 5 people on board were killed. The Reno Gazette reports equipment from the plane has been shipped to D.C. to be examined. Part of the wing and the tail, they reported, also are likely to be sent off. Well, the search for survivors continues after trains collided head-on in Greece.
Yeah, we have Julissa Ortiz tracking the latest for us at the live desk. Good morning, Hul.
And good morning to you. The death toll in that train crash in Greece now up to 46, with dozens more injured. And crews are back out there kind of going through that mangled mess there, looking trying to recover more bodies. Many of the victims were students here returning from a holiday weekend. The Greek prime minister said it appears the crash was mainly due to a tragic human error. Did not elaborate any further there. Dumpsters were set on fire last night during a protest after a vigil was held to remember the victims. There were protests in 2 other cities as well. Choking up, the country's transport minister, who later resigned, promised a transparent investigation. Police did arrest and charge a station master with manslaughter, which he denies. 350 passengers were on board that train. Back for you.
All right, Julissa, thank you so much. A little closer to home now and in your regional headlines, a gas leak prompted a temporary evacuation in Roseville yesterday. Investigators say a half-inch gas line was hit by a backhoe near Vineyard and Atkinson. Crews had to dig a 12-foot-long deep trench to reach the line and then applied a clamp to stop it. That area is now back open.
Well, the Bear League is warning people in Tahoe to beware of a man they say is impersonating wildlife officers looking for a missing bear cub. The cub escaped from the wildlife care facility 3 weeks ago. There have been no verified sightings of the cub. The Bear League says, though, the man is posting in several social media groups pretending to work with the Department of Fish and Wildlife, asking people to contact him if they see the cub. If you see the cub, though, they say you should contact wildlife officials.
I'm CBS 13's Ashley Sharp outside of the Lodi Council chambers, where on Wednesday night, a former council member who has just recently resigned led a group of several dozen supporters here into the council chambers, disrupting that meeting to make a stand. He says he is protesting his resignation, calling it coerced.
And the Sacramento Zoo's newborn giraffe now has a new name. Say hello to Cheyenne. I love it. The calf who was born to Shani, the giraffe, back in January. Well, last month, the Sacramento Zoo held an auction online to name the newborn, and according to their website, the winning bid was about $11,000. The zoo said Cheyenne was named in memory of the donor's loved one. Proceeds from the auction are going to go toward that new zoo that will be built in Elk Grove.
Okay, 6:10 is the time now. Tracy's back with First Alert Weather. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, good morning, John. Good morning, Dina. So let's take a look at some of the storm totals, right? We know we just had a pretty significant storm that rolled through. We have blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings. Here's a look. Soda Springs coming in at more than 87 inches of snowfall. Kirkwood at 67 inches. Donner Peak 62. Truckee at 44 inches. And Nevada City coming in just shy of 30 inches of snowfall. So that begs the question, or maybe begs the conversation, how much does snow weigh? Well, snow weighs a lot. Take a look at this. This is our fluffy snow, has a 15-to-1 ratio. That means 15 inches of snowfall would melt down to 1 inch of rainfall. You can see normal snow 10-to-1, wet snow 5-to-1, right? Because it has more moisture. So let's just take a look at the fluffy snow. That means 4 pounds per square foot, right? And this is a 1,500 square foot house. You get 12 inches of snowfall. That is in essence 6,000 pounds of weight on your roof. Now, all of a sudden, you're in normal snow, 10-to-1 ratio. That's more than 9,000 pounds. And with wet snow, that's 18,000 pounds. Now, that's just 12 inches of snow. And you know some places picked up several feet. Now, let's talk about 2 feet of snowfall, right? That is 12,480 pounds of weight on top of your house. And that's just with fluffy snow. Now, throughout snowstorms, you get a little wet snow. Sometimes it can transition to fluffy. It bounces back and forth as different waves comes through. So the worst case scenario is wet snow, right? Holds more moisture. If you end up getting 2 feet of snowfall, that is more than 37,000 pounds of weight on top of your roof, right? We got more snow on the way, so you got to get it off somehow, right? Take a look at this. Saturday and Sunday, both First Alert action days, several feet of snowfall moving back into the forecast. Monday and Tuesday, you still got a chance of rain and snow showers in the forecast. So we want the snow for the snowpack, but you know, it has to be safe as well. And some people are having their roofs collapsing, and you can see why, because the snow weighs quite a bit. Wow. That's a look at your weather for your First Alert traffic. Hey, Courtney.
That's a whole nother layer. My goodness. All right. Thank you, Tracy. Let's show you what's happening if you are making your way around the roadways this morning. Good news, earlier problems in Lodi from I-5 have cleared, but this is still an issue on the 205 corridor for folks coming through the Tracy area. So westbound direction as you're approaching Mountain House Parkway, big rig involved in a crash there. That's adding to the slowdowns that are already building up into the Altamont. So your drive times between MacArthur and the split on 205, about 30 minutes. That's just 8 miles. And then you got another 20 minutes between the split and Livermore as you continue west on 580. If you were headed out towards the Sac County area, I want to take you outside of the Caltrans cameras. We do have reports of a vehicle that hit a pothole northbound on 99 as you're approaching 12th Avenue. So that vehicle is over to the right-hand shoulder, but it does leave a warning for you. If you're making your way up towards that area, there may be a pothole that could cause some damage to your tires. So just expect some activity as crews are going to check that out. So far, it looks like it's not causing any major slowdowns, just normal busy patterns for folks making their way out towards Highway 50. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, ladies. Well, another denial of parole for Robert Kennedy's assassin. The parole board's reasoning for keeping Sirhan Sirhan behind bars.
Plus, natural gas prices continuing to impact a lot of Californians. What PG&E says is behind not only the high prices, but how long they've lasted.
Okay, inflation is difficult for plenty of people these days. The Tooth Fairy is no exception. How much the average kid's tooth is now costing her.